bad. Are you with me? All of them ain't bad. There might be one good one in there. But some of us never let people live it down. Child, that's one of them Johnsons. You know, old man Johnson wasn't no count. And old lady Johnson sure wasn't no count. And what's that other one named? Old B.B. Johnson. B.B. wasn't no count. And then he gonna come up here bringing that girl, and she's a Johnson. She ain't no count either. Wait a minute, child. If it were not but for the grace of God, I might not be any good because I was lost in my sins and trespasses. But somebody ought to help me, Jesus. Look beyond. That's why it's amazing grace, isn't it? Because he has the ability to look beyond my faults and see my need. But nevertheless, he calls this crippled man before him. And as he calls him before him, the crippled man comes before him, lays down because he's afraid that the king is calling him in to kill him. He's crippled in both of his feet. He can't run. But he lays down his crutches and shows David the position of his heart. That brings me to my second point. If you humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, in due season, God will. I ain't got nobody in here. I'm preaching these pews. If you'll humble yourself under the mighty hand. Wait a minute, David ain't nobody, child. I ain't bowing down for old David. Ain't no kin to me. I wish I had a witness. I don't like him no how. I'm going to tell him what I think. When I get up in that child, I'm on. Mephibosheth said, listen, this man is the king. My grandpa is dead. My daddy is dead. God put him where he is. And if God thought enough of him to elevate him, I think enough of God to honor what God has. Hold on, some of y'all got a problem. You may not like the person, but you ought to have sense enough to honor the position. Are you with me? I don't care if you went to T.D. Jakes' church. You ain't in Dallas no more. You in Houston. And if God thought enough of Pop Monroe to put him here, you ought to honor him here. I wish I had a witness here. And if you will honor him here, God will bless you here like he blessed you there. But if you dishonor the position that God put somebody in, let me understand. My mama's from Louisiana. My mama's from Louisiana. My mother's from Louisiana. So part of my understanding ain't too good either. I know you got some folk in your family. Some of us think we can show our hiney because we don't like the person. But when you disrespect the person that God has put in a position, you are not disrespecting them, you disrespecting God. And Mephibosheth had sense enough to know that if God put him here, I may not like him, his last name may not be mine, but I'm going to honor him because God put him there. And if I keep my business straight with God, when a man's ways please God, God will make even his enemies be at peace with him. He bowed and humbled himself before the king. And as they began to talk, I better not look at the text because I'll see too much. But when they began to talk to each other, he humbled himself before the king. David's heart was already in line to bless him. Now listen, let me give you something. Because sometimes your attitude can turn a blessing into a curse. Somebody might be getting ready to do something for you, but the way you roll your eyes when you walk in, make them change their mind about what they were going to do for you. You and I ought to always stay humble. Because even, listen. Take my mind, Lord. Help me just a little bit. We got to get out of here and go eat. Listen. God can take your enemy and make him your footstool. You can't fix your heart and your mind to the point where you think you've got to fight all your battles. Because when you're a child of God, God is on your side. And some of the stuff you got to deal with, you need to shut up and smile and stand still and watch God fight you. I wish I had a witness in here. Somebody in here needs a blessing right now. Somebody in here needs a breakthrough, but you're talking wrong. You're walking wrong. You're acting wrong. Your attitude is wrong. If you just smile. Be happy and watch God fight your battle. He went in the room not knowing whether he would come out alive or not. But when he came before the king, he laid out before him. Sister Harvey, he said, yes, sir. I was playing with my wife here a few days ago. She was mad at me. You know, preachers' wives get swole too. Matter of fact, they probably get swole more than most women, because you ain't live with a man until you live with a preacher man. Amen, somebody. And she was swole at me, and because, you know, God takes the worst devils and makes the best preachers. Don't forget I said that. So next time you see one of us on TV, don't be shocked. Just remember, Pastor Harvey told you the worst devils make the best preachers. Amen. If we weren't once lost, we wouldn't be now found. And you wouldn't want nobody preaching to you that hadn't did nothing to you. You gonna help me, aren't you? God called somebody who know your mood, so he can tell you how to get out the mess you in. But anyway, I ain't talking about that. But anyway, listen, parenthetic, that's free. Listen, Sister Harvey was swole. I was being sarcastic with her, and everything she would say to me, I would say, yes, ma'am. And I was trying to get her to say to me, yes, sir. But you know, Sarah had trouble with Abraham. But she still called him. Hold on. Why ain't nothing but the brothers talking? She called him. Sarah called Abraham, what, Sister Harvey? Lord. Another way, sister said, I ain't gonna do it. I don't care what you say. Hell gonna freeze though. I ain't calling no nigga. I just ain't. That's all right. The bunkhouse clean. I can sleep downstairs. But she would not say to me, yes, sir. And so my son, the one that's graduated from college, James, was there, and he was observing, and he was looking, we were winking at each other. And Mama didn't know it, but we were winking at each other. And later on, he and I got together, and we were talking, and I said, boy, did you notice that Mama never would say, yes, sir? He said, yeah, I was checking that out, old man. I said, man, let me tell you something.